morning, everybody. We're going to have a good talk about Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Lots going on with Elon Musk, including a voracious scathing by Donald Trump in Alaska at a big rally, and he called out Elon Musk as a big bullshit artist. And is Donald Trump truthful about that? The answer is yes, absolutely. By the numbers, it's true. It's true. Donald Trump made most of his money on legitimate primary industry, and did Elon Musk do the same? No. Elon Musk, a large majority, mass majority of everything that has made him comes from the tit of socialism. How people don't look at that. Literally all government contracts, all at absolutely the taxpayer's expense. And even worse than that is the massive deficit spending to spur on Elon Musk. Do we have anything really practical that he's done that's for the economic benefit of Americans or the world over? And the answer is no. People can run Donald Trump down. Did he go bankrupt a couple times? Sure. But he made physical things that were real in reality. He built buildings. He made residential real estate work. That's the truth. And when you look at Elon Musk, what has he done? Well, there's SpaceX, okay. If you're a Star Wars buff, is any of that materializing as real? Not really, folks. Not really. And most of it, again, is off the taxpayer's tit. Electric vehicles, the whole switch over. Let's be honest, folks. If it wasn't for the government forcing that on the people, i.e. jacking this fuel crisis world over to force in electric vehicles because they're not economically viable. And the reality is a good 70 percentile of the population can't even afford the conversion and the switch over. For most apartment dwellers, you're not going to have plug-in capability for electric vehicles charging. You're not going to. You're completely locked out. And if you ever want to know the tale of the tape, just go to Toronto. You can look at the class structure system as you get into those high island tower communities, boroughs like England, at least a perfect narrative to the, I guess, the sovereign ruler of Canada. You can go look at that model on the British island of what is UK 5 nations. Go look at that. Do you think you're going to get electric for everybody? You're sadly mistaken. Nobody can afford the conversion, at least not the average Joe Jane. It's not going to happen. It's a bunch of propaganda and bullshit. Then Elon Musk goes into generational collapse. Well, that's not true. Not for most of the third world. It's not true. However, absolutely for the Commonwealth, it is true. And United States is not as bad off as Canada, but it's dying overall. Canada is definitely dying. We live in colonialism. Modern colonialism is the only thing addressing Canada's natural birth crisis, and that's reality, folks. Nobody can afford to have children, so Canada has to import as many in pure colonialism. Only in Canada could you do this. The highest immigration rate the world over. It's one of the worst, besides other colonial countries. But Canada says it can't survive on natural births, so it has to pursue aggressive colonialism. Wow, what was World War II for? Now Elon Musk, he's right out of that world. Anyone disputing that, sorry, you're going to have to pull out your fact sheet. And the reality is, Elon Musk escaped with his family. They escaped the conversion of South Africa from apartheid. He got away. Now there's some videos out there stating the family got away with a lot of the blood diamonds, the rest of it. I don't know about any of that. Is it possible? Sure. Their family escaped to Canada, another Commonwealth country, unconverted from World War II. That's the first stop they had. He went to university in Canada, then he transferred to the States. He headed to California, super alt-left, socialist. He puts on the appearance, like Donald Trump said, he puts on the appearance of being something other than a supreme socialist, a divine socialist. And where do you get that from? Well, the Commonwealth, folks. These people are entitled elites. They believe in their own divinity, and they certainly don't make their fortune in the primary sector. They don't, which means they're not generating wealth, they're taking wealth. You could say Elon Musk is a great bullshitter, as what Donald Trump says. I would have to agree with him. Donald Trump nails that 100%. And anyone disputing it, I just say, look at what the man is in charge of. I mean, he's lost some tremendous wealth on his big boo-boos as of late. And it kind of shows people that he doesn't make good decisions. In fact, he's not a genius. He's just an extreme bullshit artist. Guess he's a genius at bullshitting. Who else is an extreme bullshitter? Well, Canada's model, the Commonwealth. There's a million extreme bullshitters there. Not for their ability to create, not for their ability to do anything but absolutely lie to people. That's probably the number one talent of socialists, to trick the masses, to bullshit them, and then hand you a bill. Transfers of wealth. That's what he's a genius at. Telling full-blown lies with a straight face, and then getting you to transfer your wealth to him. And you look at Elon Musk, and people just cheer that on, even though there is not 1 ounce of any primary GDP creation. Nothing of the primary sector, which means he's not creating wealth, he's transferring it. And who's he transferring it from? Taxpayers. And they can't pay. So what does that mean? It means extreme deficits annually, which means extreme debt, which means printing money too. A lot of these people lie extremely. And Elon Musk, that's the tail of the tape for me. Anything I look at that guy, he's an extreme bullshitter. I agree with Donald Trump 110%. And people can be mad at Donald Trump, but he did make an industry out of the primary sector. He did that on his own. There's no taxpayer subsidies. Did he go bankrupt? Did a couple of those times land on the taxpayer's lap? Absolutely. But like I said, it's where and how did you generate your wealth? And Elon Musk did it off the taxpayer's tit, literally. Didn't create wealth, transferred it. Great bullshitter, just like he's bullshitting about electric vehicles and his big SpaceX, which again is all off of Joe Jane taxpayer, without any realm of reality or where real people can go. It's coming to a head, and we've watched already 1/4 of his empire go. There's a bunch of them who live on the taxpayer's tit. We're starting to find that the end is coming pretty soon for them. I think Elon Musk is going to be the next one to quietly slide into the back seat. It takes time. People need to wake up. But how do you educate the masses? How do you teach everybody the truth? Pretty tough. Numbers don't lie. Reality doesn't lie. Anyone thinking that we're going into some global Green New Deal, easy transition, it's all a lie. It's just a rape of the people to create more slaves and create these self-professed leaders of industry, when the reality is it can't be done. Not real economics anyway. all this energy transition is just a scam. A scam against old Joe Jane taxpayer to create a whole bunch of elites. It's been done many, many times in history. There are sick individuals who think they're entitled. A lot of that comes from the crown. People don't want to look at it. They blame communism, even though the largest troubles this world has ever seen has come from the crown. It's come from the idea that some human beings are divine while others are less. Inequality of the person. They push it, they peddle it on you, Joe Janes, that you gotta strive for all these good things, but they don't follow any of that themselves. In fact, it's complete hypocrisy, complete lie. They don't live that way, and we see it over and over again. We watched from Jason Kenney and his close MLAs partying it up during COVID. There were examples of that all over the world, but I know just in my realm of the world, that was our example right here in Alberta. And I mean, it goes on and on. We're watching Governor General Mary Simon having $1,100 meals in flight. Think about that. $1,100 a meal. Who the hell needs to eat and drink $1,100 on an airplane? Explain that to me, folks. I don't even know how anyone could even stomach doing that, unless, of course, they think they're gods over the rest of us. And that's the only reason. They didn't create any wealth. They're not industry leaders or smart tacticians or anything else, but pigs, literally pigs at the trough, who are exceptionally good at lying to all of you and can stomach that. It's like a psychopath or it's basically the same as a serial killer. They don't feel bad about what they're doing. In fact, they think it's great, it's normal, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel good. Murdering people for a serial killer makes them feel good. They don't lose any sleep about it. It's a great thing, they think. Well, that's what these people are too. I think Elon Musk cares that none of his wealth was created from anything but raping, pillaging, and plundering, lying, cheating, and stealing. Same as your politicians. It's a poison of the Commonwealth countries. It's a poison of countries that have this divinity of an elite, that think that they're superior human beings and that you're all less people. You deserve to get what you get. Just like the first peoples, they have it the worst. Legally and forever and a day since 1867 onward, the first people have been labeled the savages, and that it's good for the government to rape them, pillage them, and plunder them, the lands, everything else. That's what they've decided. They even call it crown lands. It's not your lands, people. Hardly any of Canada is yours. They tell you this is a good thing. Let them take care of the wealth generation and keep it for themselves. Celebrate billionaires and working towards trillionaires at absolute expense of everybody else. You work harder for less. That's how they grow their wealth. And there's too many pigs at the trough. And how do you stop it when you have so many up-and-coming billionaires who are just full-fledged liars who don't exist in reality? It's all inflationary. It's all inflationary causing. Like I said, they don't care. They don't care. As long as they control most of your wealth. You go to work, you generate for them. Think about that. You get to pay taxes, and of those taxes, a lot of these self-professed, self-made billionaires are just great thieves, stealing your taxes, getting the transfer from each and every one of you, all to them. For what? Nothing. And then the government, who gets kickbacks and paybacks from these people, turns around and legislates, creates the laws, empowering them to steal from you, lying to you. And this isn't a crime, not in Canada. This is good business in Canada. But it shows in the absolute monumental deficits in debt, provincially and federally, we see in Canada. And they're pushing that Green New Deal, even though it's not even affordable, it's unachievable. They say that we're going to transition in. The only way to transition in is to adopt some models like what used to be the Soviet Union, where it's electric busing for everybody and 99% of you don't drive. That's what they're going to do. You work within a 15 kilometer